Hello, 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 everyone. Here we are on 360. I'm changing my name. Hold on real quickly. There we go. Okay, thank you everybody for being here. Mr. Mufareh is swamped, but he is going to try to get here. That's what he just said, but I know he is full of business stuff to do, and that's good for us because he's doing it for us. Let me get started. What I wanted to cover is what I usually do. One thing is what we've learned in the last month and a half, maybe, that Ash is taking complete control. Great idea. I love it. He's working on things in the background. We may not know the details, but I know enough to know that it probably wasn't a pretty sight, but he will get that cleaned up. The good thing is, and the best thing of all, is he has the problems identified, sorted, and he's working on it. That's the best thing, as long as you know. And whatever those problems were, thank God we caught them now before we get into bigger and better things. And we are going to bigger and better things. As said, he's cooking something which Red can relate to. He's got something cooking good in the kitchen. So anyway, what we've been doing, and Red's doing it too now, is bringing people on and shining the light on them. And I want to tell you, I wanted to do it. We were all talked about, yeah, let's do that, especially now while there's a little bit of time to do something different. And it's been very rewarding for me personally. I'm meeting a lot of people, and I mean really meeting them. There's people I've known for 4 and 5 years, but after they come on, shine the light, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. And you find out how much people have that they've done, their history, the journey they've taken in life, and then now you know why they turned out to be such great people today. And yeah, we had who was on there this morning?
Keith Merritt.
Keith Merritt. He was amazing. This guy can play any instrument, and he went through his past. Phenomenal. A lot of the women, and I want to say to everybody out there, Red's now doing it. We're doing it. OTech Pro's doing it. And it's a good thing. Now, if you're in the UK area, go to Red. He's got people that are knocking on his door now. Go ahead. That's what he wants. I want to say to everybody, if you're in a country where they're not doing that, and you can speak English, hold on a minute. Shorty. Thank you, bud. He's talking to somebody in the game. You're welcome to come. You get a hold of Chris. You can speak English, no doubt. Nobody's left out. If you don't speak English, then yeah, we can't help you because I have enough trouble understanding Chris Johnson. So if you don't speak English, that's not a good thing. Okay. But we've learned to be loyal, positive, and follow what Mr. Mufareh has to say. He said, whatever you hear outside of him, don't take it as the truth. Make sure you listen to him. Yes, myself, Red, Chris, many other leaders interpret what we believe, and we're, I believe, very accurate, but it's always good to go back because they're posted and listen exactly what Mr. Mufareh said, okay? Because we could be a little bit off. I know we're good, but we could make mistakes, and I don't want you to go 100%. But anyway, that is what we do. We do decipher the best we can. So far, we're not bad for the last 6 years. So, and what else was I going to say? Oh, this is the time to start thinking ahead for chapter 2. The main thing we need to know is because you don't see bricks being laid, doesn't mean that things aren't being built, okay? They are being built. It's virtual. You're not going to see concrete. You're not going to see mortar mix. You're not going to see tile. This is being done right now as we speak. The ball is in motion to take us to chapter 2. So I'm pretty excited over it, I really am. And I know a lot of people are. It makes me feel proud to be an Onpassive this many years and to see how many people are all marching forward at the same direction with the same lead, and it's a good thing. That means it's working, okay? And all of you could do the same thing. If somebody out there feels like they're alone and you're watching this right now, you don't really have anybody to connect with, there's no reason for that. You could contact any one of us, and we could tie you in with people, certain meetings. There's always somewhere to go. You should be in with the flow. It's easier to walk with a crowd than walk alone. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Red because I'm about to get into a coughing fit. Here's Red Redfern.
Thanks very much, Marty. Hi, Chris. How are you doing? Good to see you. Marty's just mentioned this, and certainly one of the things that has definitely come out of my interviews with people in the chair. And as Marty said, if you are from the UK, Europe, and you want to be interviewed by myself and tell us all about yourself and your Onpassive journey, just get in contact with me either on Facebook Messenger via my Facebook page or redredfern7@gmail.com, and I would love to have you on. But the one thing that I've noticed above and beyond of anything is how positive people are. Now, we've learned positivity a little bit, haven't we, in Onpassive? You know, it's been a journey for me, nearly 6 years coming up, and for many, many of you, a minimum of just over 2 years. And learning positivity is an art, I suppose. It takes certain things to be able to stay the course, stay on track, stay positive about what we are doing. But one thing that's come out from the people is how positive they are. I mean, it really is amazing to listen to not only their stories of their lives, but also their journeys within Onpassive. And I was looking up things to help stay positive. And a lot of these things make a lot of sense when you start thinking about them. And I'm just going to read a few of them out. And the very first one actually goes back to what our CEO was saying last week, if you remember him on 360. And he says, it says here, engage in positive self-talk. And he says positive thinking usually begins with self-talk, the flow of thoughts that go through your head without being spoken aloud. Self-talk can be optimistic or pessimistic, logical or emotional. Perhaps you are wondering how to change your thoughts from negative to positive. Remember what he said about that. He said that if you have negative thoughts, it takes up to 48 hours for it to get out of the way before you move into a positive framework. You can develop a habit of positive self-talk by adhering to simple rules. Don't say anything to yourself that you would never say to a friend or loved one. Be as acceptable, understanding, gentle, and encouraging with yourself as you would with someone you hold dearly. Now, this is very positive, isn't it? You know, when you start your day off with positive thoughts, let's take Chris Johnson, for instance. How does he have his positive thoughts every single day? The same as Comfort does. They are people of prayer. They use their actions that they do with prayer in the morning to start their day off in that positive mind frame. And this is exactly what we're talking here about, being able to stay positive by utilizing your daily tasks to encourage yourself to stay positive. Practicing gratitude is another one. And he says it is an important aspect of positive self-talking. It deserves its own entity on our list. It's very easy to dwell on negative things in life. We all have stresses and problems that can seem unsurmountable at times. But if we take a step back and think about the things that we're thankful for, it can help us maintain that positive attitude. Let's put that to the test with Onpassive. Look at all the positive things that have come out of Onpassive just because you're part of it. look at the people we know, look at the webinars we've been on, look at what Onpassive has actually done with the products that we have seen so far. All these are massive positives. Make a habit to remind yourself of what you are grateful for on a daily basis. You can keep a gratitude journal if you want to and update it each evening before you go to bed, for example. He said all these things are of a great importance. Also, another one is what Ash was talking about, spending time with positive people. Why? It actually rubs off. It's no secret that people we surround ourselves with profoundly influence our lives, and our relationships can impact everything from our physical health to our mental well-being. When you're around optimistic people, their good attitude rubs off on you. Being around negative people, guess what's going to happen? That's going to rub off on you as well. Being around positive people can help you to see the glass as half full rather than half empty. Optimistic people tend to be more fun to be around. Look at us lot. We're a blast, aren't we? And can help you enjoy life more. They may also help you to stay motivated when times are tough. Nothing can derail your efforts to develop a more positive outlook like negativity does. Never be a negative Nelly or a Debbie Downer. So make that effort to be positive. Health is another massive positive. Look at the journeys that some of us in Onpassive have done already. Marty DeGarmo, prime example. Taking care of your physical health helps you have a positive attitude. And this is so true. Taking care of your physical health can help you be a positive attitude. When you feel good physically, then guess what? You're more mentally likely and emotionally going to be positive. It's a no-brainer. We were talking about this one last night today with Comfort Comfort. Remember to laugh. It's infectious. Having a good old guttural laugh makes you feel good. It makes you feel positive. Laughter has been shown to boost mood, reduce stress, and improve immune function. When we laugh, our bodies release endorphins, which have natural mood elevating properties. So give yourself a good laugh, but also treat yourself, guys. Treat yourself both physically and mentally. Make time for your self-care, your interest in your overall health and well-being. This helps to improve your positive moods. And the last one I'm going to talk for is practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It can help us become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings, and positively impact our mental and physical well-being. All these attributes, guys, that I've just talked about will help you stay not only on course, but also to have that positive mindset that we all want to have. Remember, the biggest killer is being negative. The biggest way to succeed is by being positive. Back to you, Chris.
Very good, Red. Hello, Marty. Hello, Red. I love you both. Good to see you here on this hump day. Mike. Absolutely, Red. Me, you know me, I like to laugh. If you guys just would have heard our conversation before we got on here, we had him laughing, I think. First of all, I want to shout out to Pakistan. Happy Independence Day. I was able to pop on real quick and say Happy Independence Day, but I want to do it on this big channel. Happy Independence Day to Pakistan. Also, I believe tomorrow is India's Independence Day. So shout out from all three of us. Happy Independence Day to both those countries. We love you. Don't you worry. And, you know, as you can see where this is going today, we're all being, I think we're always are positive, but I found something today that really blew me away. And I've never heard this before. Maybe you have, and I can't see if you have, but I'm going to ask anyway. Does anyone realize, you know, when you hug somebody, why it feels so good? And of course you can't answer me because there's no one on here but us three. And I heard this morning, and it's the first time I've ever heard it. And I'm like, yeah, I know why hugs feel so good, I thought. But then this came into play. It's because your heart is on the left side of your body. Your right side's empty. And when you hug somebody, you got two hearts there, and it's just that much of a loving feeling. And then I thought about, of course, I relate everything. You can ask my son to Onpassive. What has Ash talked about since he started this? It's a company with heart. It's a company that wants to get out to the world and hug everyone it can. It's a company that wants to create success, create wealth. And it's a big, big company. I watched Warren Buffett's interview again the other day of him talking about many years ago when he invested into Coca-Cola. In the first year, they only sold 25 bottles of Coca-Cola. In today's market, I think it's 400 billion. And he went off to say that, you know, even something that starts small, you just got to stick with it. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in Passive, we got a lot more than 25 bottles of Coca-Cola. We have solutions to many things. We have things that are going to come our way that I believe will put us at the top right off the rip. And I listen to people like Warren Buffett. I listen to some very big entrepreneurs that have created something, nothing to something. And when you talk about a passive, we've been doing this for some of us 5-6 years, some of us 4, some of us less. And I think the biggest thing for me that I could try to tell people that I get a lot of calls, a lot of messages, and stay loyal. One thing about me, I can't speak for anyone else, but I could speak for me, but I could probably speak for these two guys. I've always been loyal to what I was doing. When I worked for Ford Motor Company, I was loyal to Ford Motor Company. I only drove Fords. And that's how I've always been. And a lot of people haven't figured that out yet. When you're loyal to something that you believe in so much, you go above and beyond to do what it takes to get the message out. Now, when we bring our message out on Passive for the last 5-6 years, and I'm including everyone, it was about creating that hug. It was about getting hearts together from all over the world. The foundation that Ash Mufareh has built, north, south, east, west, it's huge. And then on top of that foundation, branches grew, which touched every single country in this world, all right, which gave hope to every single country in this world. And this is how I've always looked at Onpassive, because the hope that isn't there for a lot of people is there now. Is it taking a little bit longer? Yeah. If you watch Keith today on the Shine the Light show, and I'm not advertising that show, but I am, he said some pretty cool things about just connecting to different people, no matter what the religion, the gender, the color, whatever. And then he went on, he told us about a video he made. I watched it a long time ago, and he compared me and Marty, how we are two different individuals. One's a big marketer. The other guy just worked for 32 years. And then you start thinking about Red and Julie and Robin and Michael and everyone. And you bring us all together. We're all different people. We're all unique in our own ways. But we all came to this company called Onpassive through this massive foundation, through these branches that have reached out to all over the world to spread a message of like, hey, there's something new, different. A business totally run different than, it's not the same. It's not mapped out like every other business is. It's unique and different, and it's for everyone. It's for people that struggle every day. It's for people that never thought this could be possible. And to this day, we still have people say it's impossible. I'm here to tell you with these two guys that it is real. It's happening. Ash Mufareh really is working his brains off around the clock to what Keith said this morning was a setback. And I liked what he said. And when you have a setback in a company, a business, you know what normally happens? They get stronger. They learn from different things. Setbacks are a good thing, believe it or not. Even though you might not think that, but this setback has improved Onpassive. And I'm sure Ash Mufareh someday is going to tell us that story, but that's how I believe. You've heard many, many entrepreneurs or big speakers, Denzel Washington, one of my favorites, saying you don't worry about your wins, worry about your fails. Your wins are already there. but because you failed is why you won. You became stronger. You learned from it. I think it was Tom Brady I was watching this morning. He said almost identical to what he was saying. He goes, I don't care about my wins. It was my losses that put me where I am today. And that's how I think about Onpassive. Now, I don't know all the things that Ash Mufareh is going through. I don't want to know. I just have trust and faith that he's going to absolutely do the right thing. And he's going to, the losses maybe are going to turn in for a big win for every single one of us, no matter who you are, no matter how broke you are, no matter how rich you are, no matter how, if you have health issues, it's going to turn around for the better for us. And there's no one that I've ever seen that's done this for the world. I could go back in history and look at all kind of different things. This guy just wants to create a successful life, a better life for you and your family. And in this day and age, it's amazing with so many people divided on everything, not just political, but people are so divided. I came to Onpassive and I seen that division go away. Now, do we always agree on everything? No, we don't. That's the honest truth. A family, a real family, always has disagreements. But I think what I'm seeing is we're able to talk things out. There's some, as Red said, negative Nellies, I think you call them. Yeah, we do have some negative Nellies in Onpassive. Okay. And believe it or not, I think I've dealt with most of them. And all I could tell them is I have faith in Ash Mufareh. But if you don't have faith, and I say this with a big heart, if I didn't believe in Onpassive, if I didn't like something in Onpassive, I would not be here. I think all three of us have said that once in a while. I think Ash Mufareh would even say, if I didn't believe in myself, if I didn't believe in Onpassive, I wouldn't do it. And that's the attitude that I'm speaking for me that I have. If I didn't believe in this company, there's no way I would be sitting here on a Wednesday talking to, I don't know how many people, a lot, and explaining that this is a great company. I don't think I've ever gone against anyone's trust. I hope not. If I did, I'm sorry. I don't know where I'm sorry for, but this company is solid. It's a solid company with everything real. And we've said for the last many years, as long as Marty and Red been in it, that you just got to let it happen. All right. Things aren't built overnight. Bridges aren't built overnight. Buildings aren't built overnight. And guess what? Businesses are not built overnight, and it takes a while. It takes a while. Warren Buffett, the first year he invested into Coca-Cola, they sold 25 bottles of Coke. 25 bottles. Don't you think that the average person probably said, oh, no way, dude, I'm out of here. He's stuck with it. And if you can look up the stats, I think it's like a $400 billion company today. And he says, you got to start somewhere. All right. I came into Onpassive. I didn't have to start. I was already there. All right. It took me to where I'm at now. And where am I at now? I'm looking at a company that's going to be the biggest and the greatest company in the world. And I got to be part of that. You got to be part of that. And this is why we're doing In the Chair, Shining the Light. And you got like Julie Wen, Narelle Workham, the tech guys. They're all doing this now. Why? Because we want the world to see the foundation of this company, of who stuck with it. Loyalty. The people that aren't loyal, sorry about your luck. Go fishing. Okay. And I tell you where now, I'm not on vacation. I'm up here helping my family with some situations. Some you know, some you don't. That's not important though. But just like Ash Mufareh, Marty, Red, they're my family. If they're in a situation, that's what family does. You show up for them. And I'm here to tell you that I'm showing up for Ash Mufareh 100%. If he asked me for something, I would do it because I know he's done it for me in the past. And that isn't a monetary thing like people think. I'd like to put that rumor to bed. We do this from our heart because we believe in the company. I've been told quite a few times this week, how much you getting paid, Chris? And nothing. I'm doing this because I believe the payoff is going to be a lot bigger than you think in the future when this gets going. And it's just not going to be me, Red, and Marty. It's going to be the world. Those branches I talked about. Imagine people in Africa. All right. And I could show you 10 videos a day I get from African orphanages and kids who go hungry every couple days because they ran out of food. This is what Onpassive is doing. This is what Mufareh has always wanted to do. It just keeps getting better and better. Like I said, setbacks are a great thing, whether you like it or not. And the only person that's got to go through the hell right now is Mufareh, and that's what he's doing. But he's doing it for us. Me, I might have gave up a long time ago. But this guy, he's got a solid, rock-headed stubbornness, like do or die. This is my baby. I'm never going to stop. And I think I wish more people would have that attitude, because we really don't have to do anything but talk about it or share it, but you really don't have to do nothing. Keith, again, this morning made a couple real good things about done for you. And he used a baker and a chef, whatever. It says, when it's all done for you, the chef's there, the kitchen's there, the ingredients are there, and you're sitting back, you're enjoying yourself watching it. That's Onpassive. Now we do a little bit more, I think, work. And I wouldn't call it work. I call it just giving blessings, because that's what we're supposed to be doing in Onpassive. The love that came out of Passive it's undeniably beautiful. Listening to people in different languages, even I don't know what they're saying, but I do. Talk about a company that's so great. Countries celebrating holidays like Independence Day all over the world, seeing their culture. That's Onpassive. Onpassive isn't one culture. It's every culture. Again, those branches reaching out to every single part of the world. And that's the greatest thing for me. You hear us say all the time, I never would have met these guys. And a lot of people, oh, that's so stupid. It's not stupid, because I've learned something from Red. I've learned something from Marty. I've learned something from every person I met. And you know why? Because each person I met, this is another thing I heard this morning I love. Each person I met, they gave me a little piece of God's love from them. And I learned, wow, they got a little worse than I do. Wow, they got a lot of worse than I do. But look at them. They're smiling. They believe in something that's going to change that. And I absolutely love that. Now, I did see someone just show up. I'm going to hand it back to Marty, because I don't know if he's coming on or not just yet. But Marty, I'm going to bring it back to you.
Beautiful. Yeah, I want to add a little bit before I get into a coughing fit. Can't guarantee it. You know, you can practice to think positive. I just want to let you know, you can practice to think positive. You might have grew up around people that were negative a lot and always everything, the glass is half empty, whatever. And I'll give you some examples. I've never done that before. That would be kind of a negative way to approach it. But you could be, it's an opportunity to learn something new. That's the positive, the same situation. It's too complicated. I'll tackle it from a different angle. Like that. I don't have the resources. Necessity is the mother of all invention. Okay. If you believe it, you can achieve it. I've had that happen to me in my whole life. I went places, I moved up in where I worked, and I shouldn't have, according if you went by the paper. Okay. I'm too lazy to get this done. I couldn't fit it into my schedule, but I can re-examine my priorities. There's the answer to the negative part. There's no way that will work. You hear people say, there's no way that'll work. I can try to make it work. It's too radical a change. Let's take a chance. You see the difference? It's just little things that can change everything. No one bothers to communicate with me. That's what I get. It's always a blame someone else. I'll see if I can open the channel of communication. Pry it open. You get what you want. You get what you deserve. If you believe you deserve it, you should be part of it, you can be. A lot of this opening things and doors opening, you make it happen. You make it happen. I'm not going to get any better at this, right? They already gave up. I'm not going to get any better at this. I'll give it another try. That's how you got to do it. That's people that come in. That's people that fall and say, it's not the falling that's bad. It's not getting up. You just get up. Edison, I think he took 1,000 times to make the light bulb. What the freak would have happened if he quit at 500? Well, one thing, I'd be in the dark, right? So let's just think about practice being positive. Practice it. And if there is negative, a lot of people will say, I remember at work, they had a new president, and I went in his office and I said, do me one favor, go by what I do, not by what people say. And he said to me, I've been in this business a long time. I don't go by what people say. I said, trust me, if somebody says somebody's green enough and enough people say it, I start to look like a lime. I'm just asking you to judge me for who I am. And that's the way I work. That's how I live my whole life. Anyway, I'm done chatting. I want to introduce my brother, the CEO. I love the man, love the family, Mr. Mufareh. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure. I hope you're doing great. You are looking fantastic. And I wonder what's your secret, Chris Johnson? You're glowing.
Little fish, little fish.
Yeah. I heard you talking about Coca-Cola. Obviously, it doesn't matter how much they sold or whatever to achieve the goal. At the end, they sold us poison. And that's not what we're working on. The second thing is there's probably a couple of scenarios there. I think 3. I heard 1,000 experiments by Thomas Edison. I heard and read 2,000 and up to 10,000. But it sounds like more than 1,000 times at least, okay? And that's a lot of attempts. I can relate to that. Perhaps I don't want to hold you up too long here. I want to give you a quick update. We are in a stage in Onpassive where it sounds like we're headed to the unknown. If you're watching, or the possibilities are open to either way. But I'm here to tell you from the background and what's happening in the field, on the ground. We are not going to go away. Perhaps we want you to get ready for the next phase of our journey, soon to be more clear to you. We're going up, not down. And I also want to address realistically, to respect your intelligence, where we are today. We have failed so far in some areas, and without blaming an excuse, but one thing that we obviously had some I'm going to put it this way. We always believed that the bigger the dream, the bigger the team. That's quantity wise. But also we added repeatedly that the better the dream or the better the team, either or, so that the who's on your team will determine how soon or how good your dream will arrive. And so we obviously focused out of a good, faith, and we took the leap to do the volume, thinking it's a big dream, we go with that. But it slipped in a way, who's on your team, a little bit. So we got some, I would say, am I allowed to say the corrupt people? Yeah, I think I can do that. I can do whatever I want. So we got some bad apples, and whether like incompetent or by design, basically criminals, to do their act. That is a big slap that we've had in Onpassive. So we have a beautiful big dream. We've attracted incredible individuals like yourself, and we're willing to pay the price. We're going in a beautiful direction, incredible journey, and give it whatever it takes. But obviously, some people, put in those, throwing those sticks in the wheel, as you understand. And we realize that that's not the end. So changes are necessary, as I often say. But now you don't start all over or from square one, as we say. You start from experience and a higher belief level in your journey and in your vision, because you know how valuable it is, because everybody's eyes, at least the good and the bad, are on it. So you attract the good people, but with volume, you've attracted some not so good people, okay? It happens. Now, to summarize what happened and why we got, like, let's say, a severe block in the journey in the recent months. Number one, wrong people on the team. Gave them too much trust and faith, and their lack character, integrity, and lack caliber and the expertise as well, the skill level. We were probably too busy, too excited on the vision and more focused on that and attracting the right people and catering to that. But at the same time, with volume, like I told you, those people came. So that is the first failure we've had, not to make sure that we have the right part or align the mentality and the character with the vision. Okay, so you cannot have, a pure, beautiful, radical vision to be impactful to all humanity, and have people who are self-serving or completely clueless about business, or that regardless of how you treat them, even if you give them what you give them, they just don't have it. You do not give what you don't have. You cannot give what you do not have. On the other side, what happened as a result of that, we failed to get to where we want to go in time. So the first thing, the time, perhaps the quality of what we wanted. So not exactly what we wanted, and not in the timeline that we wanted. Those are the disappointments that we've had. As a result of that, it created a vacuum for the outside, like-minded and hearted people to chime in with their poison too. You understand? So that loophole done by the wrong pals attracted the wrong pals from the outside. So we can obviously learn a lesson here to watch who is with us, okay, and monitor them in a better way, but not in any way. I want to assure you something here. If I go back in time, do I regret having the founders program and allowing you in the early stages and live that? I personally don't regret that, as painful as it was from the outside, not from you. I still believe it gave us higher value. So whatever was done by the wrong guys is fixable, replaceable, but the value that we've gained together, you and I, outpowers and overpowers the other corruption. So, which is normal with any big achievement, you also have some sacrifices. It's the law of gravity. You gain something, you have to lose something to create room for that. And to be realistic, okay, without any emotional, positive, optimistic attitude, okay, this is just one hiccup. It's not fatal. It's not going to destroy us. Like, it's not going to kill us and that's it, it's over. Nor it's an excuse that, okay, you see, it's bad, it's horrible, we got slammed, we got robbed, we got this, we got that, okay, it's over, we have no. Yes, severe attacks, big challenges, but we're bigger, okay? We're bigger, and our drive to achieve this dream way higher than anything. So even if we have to do this again and again and again, we're not quitting because we're winners. And we all know winners never quit. That's all I wanted to deliver today. Perhaps to be more specific, I need more time. So I'll be able to fill you in possibly next week, okay? So if you get this message or you want others that are following us, so we can tell you about the next phase where we're headed, this is important, okay? Where we are, got a block, okay? But we're navigating the solutions, okay, or the alternatives, and we will get through that. We will pass this barrier, okay? And then once we are on the safe side, I'll be able to come here and tell you more specific the next step. And you are going to be pleased, the least to say. At least the fact that we're not quitting and we still believe in the dream, we believe in you, and you deserve the opportunity, that's quite enough. But the more you know, the more you're going to admire what we've done and what we're doing to your own benefit. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm the next president of anything, my house or Chris Johnson's boat. That's all I wanted to say.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
You, brother.
I'm going to send it back to you. So if you're still going on, I have 3 more minutes to listen.
Go ahead,
Brad,
Mark.
you got any more?
Or you want me to leave?
Go. Go back to work. Go back to work.
You get back to
This
work.
is
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
That's how I work.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Right.
your time,
Of
Ash. You
course.
showed up.
No, I
and-
appreciate it. Big
Yeah,
time. Thank you.
absolutely.
Red, do you have any more?
No, when I was talking about positivity, this man, he brings the biggest positivity we
No,
could ever
that's
have.
right. I don't want to. We're closing. Chris, you got anything?
Yeah, Ash needs another haircut.
Another one.
Another one. I love you, man. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Tell your wife and kids we love them and appreciate you borrowing you to us once in a while.
Is that right? That's
Thank you so
like that.
much.
Not like that.
We love you
Close
back,
enough, that is, Marty.
and we're going to win. All right?
Thank you.
Hang in
Bye,
there.
everybody. Ash, thank you. I mean,
God bless. Thank you.